Hey YouTube, what's going on? How's everybody doing today? Wanted to ask the question today, what is it like living in an RV park? And I thought I would just share some of my experience living in an RV park on and off for the last year. I've been pretty consistent at this park that I've been at. I've been here now for over 6 months. I think I'm on my 7th month right now. And I just thought I would talk a little bit about what is it like living in an RV park, share some of my experience and just some of my thoughts on it, and maybe crush some myths in the process and debunk a few stereotypes that you often hear about, living in an RV park and so forth. So I thought I would just talk a little bit more about that. So living in an RV park. I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty spoiled where I'm at right now, and I'll just say right off the bat that, and I'm not like bragging or anything, but the park that I'm staying at right now is a really nice park. And I mean, I would classify this park as an A park on a scale of A, B, C, D. It's an A park. It doesn't quite have all of the amenities that you would find at some of your larger resort parks, like a Thousand Trails Park, swimming pools and hot tubs. And this park doesn't have any of that stuff, and that stuff isn't of any interest to me anyways. But this is a privately owned park. It's not owned by a large corporation, and it's a half of the park is for RVs and the other half are for mobile homes. So there's mobile homes that also share the park. And the mobile home users, they pay a lot rent just like the RVers do. And we also share the utilities. We use the internet, and we use the same internet that the people in the mobile homes use. So there's a lot of things that are shared. The rec center and some of the bathrooms, those aren't shared. Those are strictly for the RVers to use. But this is a really nice park. We have storage sheds here on site. They're like about a 5x10. Like I said, there is a rec center here that has bathrooms in it, showers in it, and then it also has a game room, a pool table, a big screen TV. There's a dining room, and there's also a full-size kitchen with dishwasher, electric stove, convection oven, microwave, everything. There's also a reading room where you can read and do puzzles. So, and all of that stuff is open to everybody, and you can use the kitchen whenever you want. If you want to cook a meal, or you want to have guests over, some friends over, you can utilize the kitchen there to make a meal. And I do use it. I do use it to boil water. If I'm making want to make a large pot of spaghetti or pasta, boiling water and so forth, yeah, I'll go inside and use the kitchen there. So it's a really nice park. When you live in an RV park, generally everything is all inclusive. Things will be different from park to park. The park that I'm staying at, electricity is metered separately per each site. So it's not a fixed flat rate. There are some parks that are that way, and those are really, really great in the wintertime, because generally in the wintertime you're running electric heaters. Most people are running electric heaters in the wintertime, so those fixed rates can keep your costs down. So those are, I consider those a real bonus. But a lot of those fixed rate parks, the rate increases in the summertime. So that's one of the things that you have to pay attention to. This particular park that I'm staying at, after you've been there for 6 months, the rate becomes a fixed rate, and it's reduced $100 a month, and that includes everything. So what do I get? I get trash, I get Wi-Fi, I get cable TV, and then I get water. So the basic things. The Wi-Fi isn't really great at this park. I think it's a DSL, so, but it's not bad. It could be a lot worse. I typically will go down to, I'm going to upload YouTube videos. I typically will go down to, there's a laundromat that's a couple blocks away that I do some laundry at sometimes, and it's got really good Wi-Fi, so free Wi-Fi. And then, of course, the library. In this town that I'm in, the library has the best and the fastest Wi-Fi. So, and that's a bicycle ride away for me. So, not all RV parks are created equal. Another nice thing with this RV park is it's all blacktop, okay? And there's no gravel or anything like that, so you're not tracking mud anywhere or and so forth. So it's a very clean park. It's very well maintained, and there's no limits on the amount of stay that you can stay at this park. There's people that have been here. My neighbor, believe it or not, has been at this park for 17 years, and he lives in his Airstream. He's a retired military pilot. Really, really awesome person. He's got all kinds of stories, and one of these days I'd like to actually interview him. And he's done all kinds of things. He's done everything from sailing, like, sailing in a sailboat, taking his Airstream across the country. He's done like hiking and backpacking adventures up in Canada, up in British Columbia, and I think I'm going to try to do an interview with him one of these days. He's 89 years old. Awesome, just a totally awesome person. So yeah, that's one of the advantages. I can stay here for as long as I want. It's nice having a home base. I'm totally down, and I like the idea of traveling around. I think it's cool, and everybody is going to be different. There's some people that they could not stand doing what I'm doing right now by living in an RV park and making it my home base. There's some people that just does not work for them at all, and I totally get that. I don't know quite yet. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of person I am. I mean, I like the stability. I mean, I like having a home base, okay? And I mean, I like going out and taking 2-week, maybe a month adventure trips, and then it's nice to come back to a home base and recharge, have things like running water, electricity, it's a nice thing right now, and I'm enjoying it. And then also with my business that I have, my income, I don't have a mobile income right now. I'm working here locally, and I'm also enjoying that. So it's working out well for me. I am thinking in the future and thinking down the road, and beginning to set bigger goals as far as the mobile income side, because I mean the mobile income is what's going to set you free in this lifestyle, living in your RV. That I think should be everybody's goal, but it takes time to build a mobile income. I mean, you just can't. It doesn't happen overnight. There's no quantum leaps with it. It takes hard work and learning and studying and failing and so forth. And I mean, there's people out there that are succeeding at it, and my hat's off to them. But anyways, I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit with this video. I hope that's okay with you all. But so let me get back to living in the RV park. So like I said, I've heard horror stories of other RV parks. That people that I've just heard stories from. There's everything from drug activity to just barking dogs, and not all RV parks are created equal. This RV park that I'm at, they're very picky about who they allow here to stay long term. I mean, they kind of have some high standards for certain things, and they're not at all. They're not all on you or anything like that about everything. I mean, everybody here is really cool, but you know, there's a standard that is set here, and I fit in well to that standard here. Not everybody would. So yeah, you know, you choosing an RV park. I know I've gotten some questions about. There's been I think some people have emailed me and just asking me about different parks, you know, about parks to stay at. Some parks won't let you stay because if it's a truck camper. I had one person that was emailing me because the park wouldn't let him stay there because he had a truck camper. So, and I guess I'll just kind of talk a little bit about that. From talking to some other RVers and people that have been in staying in RV parks, have a lot of experience doing it. They all kind of say that whole 10-year rule thing. I mean, it's there so that they can use that to kick somebody out that they don't want to stay in the park or what have you. But if if you pay on time and you follow the rules and you are a good candidate for an RV park, I mean, there shouldn't be any reason why they won't allow you to stay there. Now, there are some parks that are very strict and they have the rules, and I find that a lot of those ones are the corporately owned ones where there's some big, LLC or corporation, I mean, massive one that owns them, and they've got these rules and they follow them to the letter. So my advice is to find the mom and pop RV parks that are privately owned. The owner that owns this park, I have met him, I've talked to him. He visits often. He comes on site. I talk to him. He's a good guy, and he's willing to be flexible with you in terms of your rig and just all these other things. I mean, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and paying on time and just not causing problems in the park. I mean, that's pretty much the things the two things that, I mean, living in an RV park, you got to do. You got to follow through what you're supposed to do, pay on time, and don't cause problems for other people, and just follow the rules that are set, and it's going to be a great time. So getting back to cost, it's I'm spending anywhere right now between $400 to $420 a month. That's kind of depending on my electricity cost. So that's the main variable cost for me right now. So that's very, very inexpensive. And part of how I view this whole situation of living in an RV park is this scenario. And I did talk about this in a prior video, but it is if I owned my own land or my own home outright, no debt, okay, no financing I owned on it, I would still be paying taxes. I would still be paying taxes, and I would still be paying maintenance costs. So if you factor all of that into the equation and some of the other benefits that you get living in an RV park, the trash is included in the Wi-Fi and some of these other things, it's a really, really good deal, and it is the most economical way that I know of currently to live on the grid. There is another way that you can do, and that's living in a boat or living on a marine craft of some sort. And I know that there are some folks here actually in the town I'm in here in Florence. There's a marina in town, and you can moor your sailboat or your boat at the marina, and the fee is really very, very reasonable, $350, $400 a month, and that includes water and electricity and everything. So living on a boat is another option. I don't know anything about that stuff. I really haven't studied it, but that is another option to living. If you don't, you say, RVs or whatever, boat is my thing. Well, that really should be something that you should be looking into, because there's so many opportunities, and I mean, if you're living in a coastal town, I mean, there's moorage opportunities everywhere. So that's another thing to think about. So I've kind of covered a lot of different things, and I want to kind of go back to, what is it like? Well, like I said, that's going to vary from park to park. This park is very quiet. I happen to live very close to a very high traffic main arterial, but at night it is dead silence. it's dead quiet. You don't hear any road noise or anything. So keep that in mind if you're ever concerned about noise, because when you're sleeping at night, during the early AM hours, it could be very, very quiet. Now, I wouldn't say that in a major metropolitan area next to interstates and stuff. I mean, there's going to be noise all night long. But that's kind of one thing to think about and to consider. It's, with your costs, some people say, well, why don't you live in an apartment or something like that? I mean, you're not very far off from, from living in an apartment or what have you. Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the advantages of living in your own owned RV in an RV park versus an apartment. So here at the RV park, I have no leases. I have no contracts. It's a month-to-month agreement. I pay for the month in advance, full. I have that entire month, and at the end of the month, if I choose to leave, I can move on, okay? I'm not locked down. I'm not tied into anything. You can't do that in apartments. Our apartments, they want you in there for like a 6 months to a year minimum contract, okay? So there are no contracts. Here at the RV park, I have my own living space. I have my own space. I rent this entire lot space that I'm on. That's all mine, and I can do pretty much, whatever I want to do within the given rules of the park. So I can't necessarily do that living in an apartment. I mean, I've got somebody above me. I've got somebody besides me. I know, guys, these are common sense things, but I just thought that I would talk a little bit. I would just talk a little bit more about that, because I know that's something that's came up in videos and in comments, just people talking about, well, if you're going to live in an RV park, you might as well just rent an apartment. Well, there are some clear differences. In this town I'm in, to rent a studio or a one-bedroom apartment, you're looking at minimum $600 a month, probably more like $700 a month, just to get into an apartment every month. And on top of that, you have other costs. You have internet costs. You're going to have a couple of other costs. Trash typically will be included. Your water typically will be included, but you're going to have to pay for internet if that's something you want at home, and so forth. So yes, there are going to be costs living in your RV. I mean, you're going to have to maintain your RV. You're going to have to keep it up. It is your home. It's your mobile home. That's what your RV is. If you're living in it full time, it's a mobile home. So you're still going to have all those maintenance costs, but they're going to be nowhere near what they would be owning a home. So yes, there is a savings living in your RV versus an apartment, and you also have the freedom of just not being locked down and tying down. And I got to tell you guys, I mean, that right there to me is worth worth everything and a whole lot more. There's just nothing worse than being in that situation where you're locked in, okay, to a contract or a lease or what have you. So this video, I'm almost going 20 minutes here. I know this has gotten a lot longer, but these are just some of the things that I wanted to share about living in an RV park. So right now, to just to wrap it up, conclude this talk. It is working out well for me right now. But like I said, I have been envisioning and making some bigger goals for myself that will put me in a situation to go mobily. But I'm just not sure if that's what I want. This is not this lifestyle, guys. This is not a it's this or that. This is an and/or lifestyle. You can have this and you can do this. I mean, it gives you the flexibility to do literally anything you want to do and live anywhere you want to live. So, this is not just about, well, you've got to be on the road and you've got to be moving around and you can't be static. No, I mean, that's not what this lifestyle to me is about. This is about using this as a vehicle to design your life the way that you want it. And to me, that's what it always comes back to with this lifestyle. So that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up, and I hope that this video has you've learned some things that you didn't know, or maybe you already know, and and that it helps you make some better decisions for yourself. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'll do the best I can to answer them. And until next time, we'll talk to you all later, and thanks for watching.